3 years ago, a big supporter of our project, late Philip Coppens, asked me if I knew about the work of Valery Uvarov. I said no. He said, okay, let me send you his e-book. So he sent me one, and he sent me another one. Then I learned that there is a guy in Russia who actually built a pyramid describing all the phases of the construction and who had been dealing with the pyramid energies. So when we met the first time, it was like meeting an old friend on both ends. We immediately clicked. Of course, I learned that he had been doing different things in his life. Besides the pyramid energy, ancient civilizations, ancient technologies. We've been working also on a huge pyramid project in Russia, in Siberia, which he will mention tonight for sure, but also with some other mysteries, genetics, medicine, unexplained events from the past and from modern times, genetic engineering. Also about so-called unidentified flying objects, trying to identify them. And I'm very happy to have him in Bosnia for the second time this year. And I'm sure you are going to enjoy his presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, Valery Uvarov from Russia.
I admire this man. Well, for everybody, thanks. I'm really happy that I'm here today with you because Sam is right. I'm engaged in UFO and pyramidal structured research for the last 30 years. And what I did for this long period, I was trying to filter out pure scientific information from ancient texts, Sumerian, Egyptian, Mayan texts. And then I tried to visit all reachable pyramidal complexes all over the world, to experience everything by my own body, by my own energetic field, because I'm the person who can believe, but in my heart I'm not a believer. I prefer to test, especially if we have a deal with something unusual, unknown. And as long as we, each of you, were looking on traces of ancient civilization, and especially on the pyramids, inside of you, you clearly understand, you feel that there is something behind it, something important. And it's really so. I came to the same conclusion, but on the scientific level of understanding. I'm sure that the pyramids will play a very important role in our future, in the near future. And the presentation which I'm going to make for you now will be about pyramids, about their capacities and energies. What can we actually do for us with the help of the pyramid today? For our kids, for our families. So, welcome to a very interesting journey to the ancient knowledge. So, now you know me a little bit, so please next slide. I just, you know this picture. I just used it for one simple reason. Here you can see a lot of pyramids. All ancient, well-developed civilization, they built pyramids in different areas of the planet. And these pyramids had different shape, different configurations, because they have been built and used for different purposes. Next one. So today, I will try to show you and explain to you and give you some ideas why and what for the pyramids were built for. Next slide, please. And as I told you, they were a sacred times in our history when the knowledge about pyramids have been spread among ancient priests, and they have been teaching each other using very interesting ancient papyruses and other, pyramids and temples and other carriers of information. And next, please. And today, we will try to touch 12 main stimulus, which persuade and made ancient builders immediately to start building the pyramids and to use them for very interesting purposes. Next slide. All ancient texts clearly says that the knowledge in ancient times have been received from very highly developed civilization. And it's clearly said that this civilization had an extraterrestrial origin. Today, I'm going to bring you some details. And please remember these details, because they will help you in the future deeper understand what actually took place in our solar system for the last 20,000 years. And you will understand the origin of all our problems on our planet. Those who gave us that knowledge, they were not from far located galaxies. They were even not be from the other part of our galaxy. Those who came to us, landed on our planet, and then gave us knowledge, they were living on the planet situated in our solar system. That were Mars, ancient name of the Mars Nibiru. Keep in mind, Nibiru is the Mars. And the planet that have been destroyed, Maldek, or ancient Sumerian name Tiamat. For us, it is very, very important to know where they come from, because being in our solar system, it says that they have the same genetic as we have. And it means that all the technologies that they have developed during their period of life can be easily turned to us, and we can use it just without any preparation. Next slide, please. An indication that those Nephil, gods of the sky, came from Mars can be found in the surviving monuments in Mexico. This is Teotihuacan, the heart of the civilization. Important is that this complex was conceived, designed and constructed as embodiment in the stone of a model of the solar system. Next slide, please.
Next slide.
The first pyramid is the pyramid called the Moon. Second, in the middle, the pyramid of Sun. And third one, the pyramid of Kukulkan or Quetzalcoatl. And you see the road that goes through the whole complex. Next slide. It is sufficient to place a structural map of the solar system of the photograph of the complex taken from the height of almost 5 kilometers. And everything becomes clear. Next slide. You see, we put the orbit and we immediately see the pyramid of Quetzalcoatl. It's Mars. In the middle, we have the Sun and the Earth. The main pyramids of the complex model the orbital position of the Sun, Mars, and the Earth. Next slide, please. Also, another indication. The pyramid of the Earth, around 42 meters high, and the pyramid of the Quetzalcoatl, Mars, around 22 meters high, is equal to 10532, which corresponds exactly with the ratio of the equatorial diameter of these two planets. So as above, so below. Is another indication where they came from. Another file, please. So now we are looking from, let's say, from the skies, and you see this road. The line here shows the direction to the northern pole, present northern pole. And this line, which should go along the road of the complex, is displaced 15 degrees. And interesting is that ancient text says that Teotihuacan is the place where lived people who knew where gods were living and where they came from. Next slide, please. Here, the map of Mercator. You know this map. On this map, he shows the place where very highly earthly civilizations have been situated. And all present investigators consider Hyperborea, the name of this civilization, have been situated in the middle of the Northern Ocean, ice ocean. But when you put this map like this, you see that it exactly shapes Greenland. So ancient civilizations have been situated in Greenland. So another slide. This is Kailash. It is important to stress here that according to the ancient texts, all ancient pyramids have been oriented on the northern pole. This is Kailash, one of the oldest structures on planet Earth. The plane of the northern side of Kailash is also displaced 15 degrees west. So, if we go along this line, please next slide, we go 7,000 kilometers and we come again to Greenland. Next slide, please. This is the Kailash. Kailash is so old that any possible or any reachable ancient texts, they have no even idea when it was built. This side, northern side, faces it in darkness. This looks on the former northern pole. And the western side now is under the sun, directed to the other pyramid, the pyramid of Atlantis. Please, next slide. This spot here on the Haji Ahmed map showed exactly where the pyramid of Atlantis have been situated. And so, according to the principle of orientation, we see that Kailash is oriented to the north, to the Meru mountain, the sacred Meru. Meru looks south on this place where the pyramid of Atlantis have been situated. And the western side of Kailash, through Giza, pay attention, exactly through Giza goes to this place. So here, on a very small island, the pyramid of Atlantis have been situated. Next slide, please. This is the pyramid of China. Most part of this pyramid also, little bit their orientation, their side, looks not on the direction of northern pole, little bit displaced. 7 degrees displacement. What is important that this pyramid have been built and constructed according to the ancient canon, this special number of laws or knowledge according to which all pyramids and temples have been constructed. It means that ancient canon means canon that have been in force, in power before flood. Next slide, please. So, and here you see again the pyramid of China are looking on the north. Next slide, please. Here you can see the clear picture. I was trying to show you on a simple example how orientation of all ancient pyramids have been done exactly to the north, to the sacred pyramid of Meru. Why? Because 18,000 years ago, exactly here, those who lived on Mars and Malek landed and started their work for, they had actually practical purposes. Those who landed here, they had no, continuous and wide contact with all people. They contacted only with elite on that areas where they had their interests. North, in particular here, is important because the pyramid of Meru, being on the north, have been situated on the most powerful energetic place of the planet. This is like a very deep breaking in the crust, where energy comes. On this place goes a very strong beam of energy up into the skies. Above the Earth, exactly at this area, there was an interplanetary station. It was a physical object with the help of which all pyramids have been communicating with Meru Pyramid, and the Meru Pyramid sent a signal to this, let's say, station, interplanetary station, and this station already retransmitted the signal to the other parts of solar system or of our galaxy. Let's go on. This very powerful energetic place-like being, which ancient Egyptian called Ra, is the place for transition. Next one. No, previous slide. No. Back. Again, back. Here you can see the planets, and this is the breakings in the crust. Here you can see like the energy beams are going up from the surface of the planet. Next slide, please. When UFOs are flying from one dimension to another, they are using so-called time corridors. In this particular moment, I'd like to give you some other very interesting and important idea. Very few ancient texts says that cosmos, that space, our universe, has the shape of a skull. That's the reason why crystal skulls resonating with your skull can help install contacts somewhere in the universe, because universe has the same size, the same form, the form which is resonating. Let's go on. Next slide. Oops. No. Here you can see it's like a form of universe. Our brain, each cell of our brain is like a galaxy. Next slide, please understanding. And this is neuron. Here I'd like also to point out a very important moment. That this is exactly the principle how space and time is constructed. UFOs and highly developed civilizations, they do not fly. They make a transition from one dimension to another. And this neuron, it's like a space, like a place where the sun is situated, solar system. And between one solar system and the other solar systems, there are so-called time channels, exactly like this. The same principle. Next slide, please. And when you know this actual construction of space are all well-developed civilization, highly developed civilization, they know this principle, the capacity, the world is constructed like this. They are using these so-called chronic corridors, and they can make a step into the most far remote sub-space of universe. No longer than for 1 minute. Can you imagine? For 1 minute. And you are so far that we will not even able to explain it with our terms. Next slide, please. So, UFOs, all ancient civilizations, I mean those who came on the planet Earth, and present civilizations, highly developed civilization of the galaxies and the universe. They, I said, do not fly, they make a transition. And for this transition, again, I repeat, they use so-called chrono corridors. They just go through this channel and then move, and they're here. Just short transition, and they are here. It is, just imagine, when you, like UFO, is started to hover over the planet, and then just jump, just a step into the black hole. And endless distance. And you understand, you should know exactly where next moment you will find yourself. So for that reasons, the universe is already, let's say, investigated. And most developed civilizations, they installed the system of communication, and they have so-called the map of chrono corridors. But when they come to the planet, for example to planet Earth, they need to know exactly where next moment they will find themselves. For this, they need so-called GPS system on the planet Earth. Because these channels, it's like a transition, like a gate, like we usually say, portal. You can imagine it like this, if it's okay for you. Or you can imagine it like this, if it's okay for you. It doesn't matter. Next slide, please. But in reality, each planet has so-called GPS marker. So when UFO appears here, they are tuning on these GPS markers, and they jump out of the time corridor in a certain place. It is very, very important because spacecraft is very heavy. It's a technical device. And they need to know exactly the pressure of energetical field coming from the Earth. Otherwise, if they miss the place, okay, they will make a mistake for 2-3 kilometers, where the pressure is different. UFO appear, and then nothing to sit on, crash. This is the most often reason for the crash that happens with UFOs. Exactly for these reasons, on each planet, this well-developed, highly developed civilization installed these GPS markers, these systems. They installed them in the mountains which had the form of the pyramid. Or even they somehow advised to people on the planet to build a pyramid. And then later they used this pyramid with the special devices inside as the GPS marker. Next slide, please. So, the pyramid, Bosnian pyramid, one of the main purpose of the pyramid, this is my opinion, because I met the pyramids approximately with the same type of purpose. This is the GPS marker. And this beam goes up, and it's sometimes stronger, sometimes maybe less strong, but continuously giving a signal, pointing out the place where the pyramid stands and where they will find themselves if they make a jump. So, the ancient pyramids all over the world, on our planet, on the other planet, they have been used as GPS marker. And again, I would like to repeat that all these pyramids have been done from the hills or mountains. Sides have been cut, then covered with plates or concrete, properly oriented, and then this pyramid have been used as the GPS mark. At the same time, there are here many pyramids. They are looking on each other. For the next reason, next purpose, how such pyramid can be used is the very soft, positive influence on the humans living around. It's kind of a stimulation of creative abilities. And at the same time, the pyramid and the devices inside of the pyramid, they are gathering information. And then, as I told you before, this information is retransmitted to the Northern Pole. Here is well-known pyramid. You recognize this pyramid. This side is directed to the north. Next slide. And this is one of the ancient texts. Indirect reference to this cosmic device, which is hovering over the planet, over the Northern Pole, can be found in ancient texts. According to the Avesta, it was created above the mountains by immortal holy ones. The ancient Indians retained a memory of it as the heavenly city of Amaravati, dwelling place of immortals. That is, located above the mountain Semir, the sacred center of the earth. And this has at least two meanings. That on one hand, those who landed here, their main base have been situated on Meru on the northern part. And here on the drawing you can see the steps of this pyramid. On the other hand, there is a technical device which connects people with those ones living in the heaven. So an ancient text says that the aerial construction, not of the transitory world, served as a source of revelation of the knowledge and information. So even ancient text says that through this device, ancients were receiving information and advices and knowledge. Next one. And this is very interesting. This is a direct indication of the existence of a space station located above the pyramid of Meru, above the earth. This is the temple Wat Ban Ho in Thailand. And this temple is devoted to Pyramid Meru. And look what is interesting. The Meru is situated on the round rock, round earth. This is the embodiment of the earth. On the earth, on top, we see a pyramid. And that pyramid on top has a very strange, like technical shape. But what is interesting, you see, on top, there is strange, like a metallic object, hovering over the pyramid Meru. The Mahabharata speaks of the sacred mountain Meru at the dwelling of Dharma, which celestial and graces of heroes come. Again, it shows that something very important is situated on the north of our planet, over the north of our planet. And Egyptians also, they placed greatest mystery of gods on the northern sky. And here is the key one. On 20th January 2010, while taking shots in an unusual green aurora borealis, the photographer Per Arne Mikkelsen captured this object. Here is the picture of this station. This station is interplanetary. It means sometimes it can be visible, sometimes invisible. Visible and invisible. It's closely connected with activity of the core of the planet. When activity is growing up, the object appears. When activity slows down, object disappears. But object is always there. Next slide. Oh, it's here. Good. So, now you learn a little bit about the principles. These principles are one and the same for the last 10, 20, 30, 40,000 years. And all well-developed civilizations, they know about it and they are using this principle. So when those who lived on Mars and Maldives landed here, they started to teach, they gave advice to people how to build first complex of the pyramid for communication with extraterrestrials, with their, let's say, neighbors. Sure, they explained to people that if you build the pyramid, you will get unusual abilities. You will be living alone. You will be able to see what is under the ground. You will be able to see what is beyond the solar system. And even further, you will get unusual capacities. And it's really in nature that people understood. So if they do it, they will receive the same power as the gods have. And people started to build pyramids. The first complex of the pyramid have been built in spiral. Again, the same principle. Human body and the planet Earth. There is a very important ancient text called Kabbalah. This is interesting, absolutely amazing information. Explains that human body, planet Earth, and universe have one and the same structure. Planet Earth has a physical body, and human being has a physical body. We have energetical bodies, and planet Earth also has energetical bodies. We have 7 energetical bodies. Planet Earth also has 7 energetical bodies. Our spiral, the central structure, it has vortex, energetic vortex. Planet Earth also has energetic vortex. Let's go on. This is, I was trying just to illustrate what it means. Body, planet, and this is very important, how to say. So the first complex of the pyramid had been built from the South Pole in spiral to the Northern Pole. And this type of complex have been used for one main reason. For communication with the outer space civilizations. Next slide. This is ziggurat type pyramids. Exactly these pyramids, they perform the role of antenna for interplanetary communication. Let's go on. Next slide. One of the types of the pyramids that belong to the system of global communication, they have been built according to the principle. They embody in the shape of the pyramid parameters of the human body. This is a very important moment. Also interesting that the pyramid, the step pyramid, these ziggurats, which you now can see made of stone, and then ancient time, they have been made of metal. And there are texts which are saying that these ziggurats, they were like a lens of video photo camera moving up and down, up and down. And the movement have been determined by the parameters of a human being. So the pyramid here have been tuned on the person living here, and some other parameters of the pyramid have been tuned on the person, for example, living on Mars. So tuned on each other, the person who have been inside of the pyramid could communicate with anybody on Mars in the form of visions telepathy, receiving information, well, actually knowledge and prediction about the future of our planet, which is also very, very important. This is one of the stimulus why pyramids have been built and how they were used. Next slide. Another very important aspect or way how the pyramids have been used, they were used to retrieve information about past and the future. Here I'd like to give you some additional explanation. According to ancient texts, there is no past and there is no future. Everything is going on now. For us, it sounds a little strange. Like for me. At that time, it was a little bit strange. How is it possible? I remember that I was a child. I was a very small child. Now I'm a pretty grown man, and there will be a time when I pass away, okay? So, I have my past, present, and future. So, for a certain period of time, I was a little bit, disoriented, trying to find an answer, what it means. Until, working and pulling together the text of ancient Maya, Egyptian text, especially Maya, I found an explanation about actual construction, actually, of the world, of the universe, and our planet. And this is amazing. This is absolutely amazing stuff. Long, long, long ago, just imagine, somebody who embodied in himself laws of time and space, male and female beginning, I am just going along the ancient texts, created endless number of its own projections according to his own energetic code. You see something familiar in the Bible? Actually, these projections are, we are their projections. This ancient text says that whom we know as the God, we think that he is endless, he is perfect, he is, immortal, and all other stuff. This text says, no, in comparison with our life, he lives so long that we can consider it to be endless life, immortality. But in reality, he will die. But his death is transition from one state to another higher state of development. And we are constructed to the same principle. It means that our way of development should go exactly the same way as God went long, long time ago. So if we will go along his principles and his way, we are on the level or on the way of development. If we are doing something wrong, the opposite result. It is also very important to note, when you have been born, do you remember your past life? No. Do you know what's going on with you around here? No. It is impossible for God. God cannot live like this. He is developing himself. He must know exactly what will happen with him in 1 year, or in 1,000 years, or in 10,000 years. He cannot make any mistakes. Then, next question. How it is possible to know the future? And here comes another very important knowledge from the ancient texts. That when God, our God, who created us, made a transition on this level of existence and created this universe, He didn't know where He is. He needed time to find out where He found Himself. And as ancient text says, God created people, you, and through your eyes, He is looking on me, on each of us. Through my eyes, God is looking on you. He put us in different planets, different dimensions, different times. He organizes for us different situations and gather information. He is trying to find who is that one who gave Him, our Creator, to be like He is. It means that there is some other higher standing reality, higher standing God. And according to that natural principles, it is possible to know what will happen in some time, in the future. Now I will try to explain how it works on very simple ideas. Imagine, we have a computer, we have a hard disk. We make directory, Earth number 1. And then make Earth number 2, Earth number 3, Earth number 5, Earth number 1,000, 10,000, as many as possible. But this natural division of the space and time goes continuously. Then, for example, I take you, for example, simply as the program. Just imagine, here's the program, or any one of you, in this file, and in this directory. And then I copy you in the other directory. I made 10,000 copies of you. And then next moment, I will change the speed of the process. In one directory, the speed will be very high. In another directory, very, very slow. So at this particular moment, you are sitting here, you are listening to me, and you even cannot imagine that in parallel dimension, you are also sitting and listening to me, or maybe this presentation would have already happened long ago. And only here on our planet, so-called those people who can see, extra vision, extra sensitive, can tune themselves and say, well, I see that, whatever. All developed civilizations, they never do it. They just look in the parallel dimensions. What happened already there? And then they say, okay, Irina, now we know that in 100 dimensions, you made this and these mistakes. But there are some dimensions where your life have been pretty interesting. So you can make your choice. Because in this case, you have choice. If you don't know what already happened with you in a parallel dimension, you have no choice. You see the difference? This is reality, how this world is constructed. So, to have information about the past, but the past which is going on now in the parallel dimension, now, and the future which is also going on now, they used the pyramids, just looking, watching, and making decisions. What will we do next? Can you imagine how it would be great, for example, if few months ago we could watch the situation with Ukraine, right? And everything will be okay, no war. But this ancient knowledge are giving us a very important hint. So the pyramid can be used, the instrument, for seeing future possible events, to accept well-developing events and somehow avoid bad results. And here, I just giving you general idea how this world actually constructed. The planet Earth, multiple dimensional Earth. Next slide. Again, you see, like on a different hard disk, we have the planet. And then we just change the speed of time. And everything is going here, very, very close to us. Because even maybe here, I'd like also to give you one very important knowledge and idea. When we are talking about UFOs flying here, mostly we consider it to be extraterrestrial civilization flying here. But in reality, we have only no more than 3% of extraterrestrials. The others are terrestrials. Those civilizations who are living on planet Earth in a parallel realities, parallel dimension. Actually, this is our civilization. But many, many thousand years ahead. And for example, remember the prediction which had been done 500 years ago. Do you know whom I mean? Nostradamus. And present investigators sometimes claim that Nostradamus was a little bit wrong because there were many, many events which didn't happen. Nostradamus was describing exactly what happened in the parallel dimension. And even comparing the texts of Nostradamus and what happened in our civilization, you can see this difference. How sometimes the history of our civilization avoids something bad. So something is changed, and this is the living process. And we are the part of this process. This is, by the way, I like this picture. Because by a very simple way, it shows the reality that between our world and parallel dimension, there is a membrane. Actual membrane through which you can go. And the pyramid was just exactly the instrument which had been used to go into parallel dimension. And I will tell you now maybe even strange thing, but some types of the pyramids have been used as the real gate. You go into the pyramid here, goes out in other dimension. Like this, even like this. So, are you not tired? No?
No.
Okay, so let's go on. This is another purpose for which the pyramid have been constructed. Harmonization of inner biological time to control oncological processes. This type of pyramids have been also, they had flat sides, like Egyptian pyramids, flat sides. Now, this needs a short explanation. First of all, I'd like to show you this. Next slide. This is a very short, brief idea how pyramids have been built. We have been talking about it today, right? Any pyramid, and you know, for example, in pyramid we have more than 100 pyramids. And we have not even 2 equal pyramids. Why? Because they have been built and tuned on a different person for different purposes. And this is idea how they were tuning pyramids on a human energetical structure. Now, look very attentively and listen to me very attentively. Each of you are the cells of God. Understandable? You are individuals, right? In the whole universe, where lives incredible amounts of people, all universe is inhabited. You are the only one. No the other, second like you. You can be in a parallel dimension, in parallel reality, but not in this reality. In this reality, you are individual. It means that you have your own biological personal vibration. Understand? In ancient Egyptian texts, this personal biological vibration was called Ren. Ren. So it means, it's like, when I'm looking on Klaus Dona, I see his face, the way of talking, the way of behaving, it's all contains energy vibration of Klaus. And being somewhere, for example, now in America, but he is sitting somewhere here, what I need is just to remember his face. My biological system, my energetic system, immediately is going in tune with him, immediately. And I can get contact with him. So, if you are individual, just one small cell of the huge, endless organism of the God, who is the source of knowledge, who is the source of energy for you. Then, understanding this, you need to build a pyramid according to your personal vibration. And then it means you get energy exactly from the center of the energetic source. It is very short, a direct way to get this energy which, well, can give you very long life. You will feel yourself perfect, no illnesses, unusual creative abilities. Just very shortly, your abilities will be like a Cyrus. But the pyramid should be constructed according to these principles. Remember this, okay? Now let's go to the point. Why the pyramids have been used? To control inner biological time. There is one problem with us. $13,667 years ago, we have encountered a huge asteroid impact. This planetoid, huge one, kicked out the planet Earth from former orbit. Thousands of years ago, like 14,000 years ago, planet Earth have been closer to the Sun. And our calendar have been 360 days. And if you just simply start to investigate this, how to call vibrational system, when we have a sun and the planets rotating around this rotational system, we can easily calculate. But what is important, if planet Earth, but your actual energetical bodies, your physical bodies, have been created by Earth, another very important moment. Never do this mistake. Remember, not cosmos, planet Earth gave birth to you and to your bodies. This is the principle. That's why your body are tuned on planet Earth. Women know when your child is crying that you are here, you feel it. Your heart starts to vibrate. And if you are nervous on your work in the office, your child feels himself or herself might worse being in kindergarten. There is a connection, a very close connection between mother and the child, the same with planet Earth and us. We are tuned on each other. 16,000 years ago, planet has been kicked from this orbit. Remember, ancient text says, there was a time when all people were talking on one language. Remember? It was telepathic language. But when the planet Earth was kicked out, we immediately lost this ability. Immediately. Now we are living, let's say, inside not so, I wouldn't say friendly environment. But this environment works a little bit not like it should be. Okay? Deviation from norm. So, to tune your body again and connect your consciousness to ability to communicate, we need to somehow retune your energetic system. That's the reason why we are building the pyramids, having or using special golden proportions. Okay? Understood. Let's go on. To our present normal life. Any one of you, if you go, you made a decision. You want to perfect yourself. You want to develop your psychic abilities, your spiritual abilities. And you go to the courses. You make simple exercises for developing your sensitivity. And as soon and when you just felt the first energetic ball between your hands, it means that your first energetical body got into resonance with the first energetical body of the Mother Earth, which is great. Sensitivity started to grow up. Then you consider to continue and develop more. You are working and developing your abilities, and then suddenly you start to have visions. Like a kind of an astral journeys. You understand what I'm talking about? Yeah? It means that your second energetical bodies got into resonance with the second energetic body of the Earth. And you are continuing your development. And next moment, depends on your genetic capacities, you are getting cancer. When we made a kind of a request through National Security Academy of Russia, trying to find out what's going on with the healers or clairvoyants, in 7 or 10 or 15 years of their very honest work, 70% died from cancer. The most well-known teachers, Jiddu Krishnamurti, Ramana Maharishi, Vivekananda, Sri Aurobindo, Mira Alfassa, Madame Blavatsky, Nisargadatta Maharaj, who else? Vanga, all of them died from cancer. You see? When you start meditate, and you are getting so-called cosmic energy. Important, cosmic energy, not earth, cosmic. Your inner biological time slows down. And on one hand, it looks like, okay, it slows down. And it will be, if it will be like this for a long time, I'm going to live very, very long. But your telephone rang, child starts to cry, you went out of this condition. Your immune system immediately returns back to the present state of your organism, because new one, immune system considered to be abnormal. So it means your immune system speeds up your inner biological time. This to and fro can happen with you 500 times, maybe 1,000 times. But 1,001 inner biological time speeds up, goes through the phase of uncontrollable division of the cells, and this is the cancer. There is an ancient text who clearly warns that people must know about the capacities of their own biological and energetical fields. You must know it. The mistake is that when we go, like into the school, first class, second class, third class, and we are according, or when I'm talking about energetical practices, we are in cancer. Ancient text says, first energetical body, second energetical body, and third energetical body should be synchronized with first, second, and third energetical body of the earth as one. Not one by one, but as one. And then text says, you will step over the border of death. For this particular and very important reason, ancient Egyptians have received from this highly developed civilization knowledge about instruments which they used to synchronize this energy. Text says, the energy which you are receiving during meditation should be synchronized with the energy system of the planet Earth. Then, next moment, transformation goes into the range of energy acceptable for human organism. Then you are developing, no problem, very healthy, very talented, but you must know about it. And the instruments which they have been using was very special. Next slide. They have been using so-called the wands of Horus. You can see these wands in the hands of each statue, any pharaohs and ancient priests, anywhere in any museum. Why they are in the hands of ancient Egyptian priests? Because this is the instrument of a very high value. They also used insoles. It was mixture, copper with gold and silver with zinc. This instrument helped to synchronize first 3 energetical bodies of a human being with the first 3 energetical bodies of the earth. And you step over the border of death. Pyramid is constructed exactly to synchronize all 7 energetical bodies of the human being with the 7 energetical bodies of the earth. And this gives you unusual, very important capacity. You can control inner biological time. It means, again, another explanation. In Eastern tradition, we know about yin-yang, male and female beginning. In ancient Egypt, the same energies have been called Ba and Ka. But one very important thing is missed. Yin-yang, Ba and Ka, this is 2 in counting flaws of time. If you synchronize, harmonize the inner biological time, in 2 weeks, your inner biological time is conservated. It means from this moment, if it's synchronized and conservated, 100 years, 200, 500, 1,000 years, 2,000, no problem. Only ballot can stop you. That's it. Only ballot. It's an important moment for understanding. So, and from here, what is time right now? 8 or not? Okay, so we can continue. So, when we found this interesting knowledge about the pyramids, when we have translated this text, we came to another very important conclusion, that pyramid can offer us a very interesting instrument for our present life, daily life. Probably, a pyramid can give us much, much more than we can even imagine. But for investigation, we need to have good shaped pyramids. And it was a little bit not honest from us, from investigators all over the world. Because when we have been trying to describe the pyramidal effect, like 10 years ago, for example, and trying to give you information about types of effect, we have been talking about it without any serious investigations. All the pyramids in the world, which you know, they are destroyed. It means they do not work. Exactly for this reason, we made a decision to build a pyramid. To build, to put together all the knowledge that we have gathered and conduct a scientific investigation in the pyramid. And now I will give you some results of this investigation, which actually are really pretty interesting. Please, next file. So, Mechnikov Vaccine Research Institute of Russia. So, a similar picture was observed when the mice were injected with the various vaccines. So, the idea was like this. We took two groups of mice. One group had been exposed into the pyramid, and the other group not exposed in the pyramid. Then, in the institute, we have ejected them poison, real poison. And what is interesting? You see, the tumor developing in control was several times higher. So those groups who have not been in the pyramid, they got these health effects problems pretty fast. I think, let's do it like this. Give me previous file, previous. I think it's better. I just missed one very important file. This one. So, we used a very deadly type of bacteria. Usually, when we inject this bacteria, so-called Salmonella typhimurium, it causes 100% death. 100. But those mice who have been exposed into the pyramid, up to 40% of them stayed alive. It was absolutely amazing result, because medical scientists tell you it's impossible, because Salmonella typhimurium kills 100% of mice. And if they stayed alive, it can be only because of the pyramid effect. Because pyramid is stimulating immune system of the mice. And that's why, just go back again, next file. Next. Finish. And here we turn back, that even water that has been exposed to the pyramid and then given to the mice, or when they have been injected by a very serious dose of the cancerogens, a pretty big percentage of the mice didn't get cancer. So we came to the conclusion that the pyramid has very strong anti-cancer effect. And also I'd like to give you very short brief information about one experiment that we did. Actually, it was not an experiment. It was approximately 15 years ago when I visited one of the pyramids under Moscow, which had been constructed, and there I made a friend with a man who was approximately 65, 67 years old, very, so active, very nice guy, and we spent very good time together. And once I came there, and I didn't find him here, and I was told that he has got a very serious form of cancer, cancer of the lymph, right, cancer of lymph here. So when next time I saw him, it was a terrible picture. He had no neck, like like a crocodile. His skin is terrible, and he was already gone through 2 chemotherapy. 2. He lost his hair. Result is very bad. And I told him, listen, you are living just 35 kilometers away from the pyramid. Just take a car, go there, and spend there all day in the pyramid. So, in 20 days, his neck was absolutely clean. Absolutely clean. Result was amazing, but he was Russian. Do you know what means Russian? Great! Oh, great result! In 1 week, back, burying ground. But result was absolutely amazing. So, maybe very shortly, maybe I have explained to you not so clear, maybe badly, but important is that pyramid has very serious anti-oncological effects. And experiments with oncological cells have been done in many institutes in Russia, and we have got one and the same result, that pyramid is the instrument where we can stop the oncological process. First, slow down, it's important, not heal, slow down, and then stop. If the process will stop, medicine will tell you, you are healed. So, I don't think that... okay, I will shortly explain, just not to read this information also. Here the text about antiviral effects of some medicine. Interesting is that when antiviral medicine have been exposed into the pyramid, and then we gave this medicine to mice in concentration 5,000 times less, effect was much higher than the normal concentration. And when we exposed this antiviral medicine longer, then we find out that concentration of this antiviral medicine has no idea, doesn't matter how, just 1 drop, and the effect is higher than the full concentration, normal concentration. Another very interesting experiment, also very intriguing, challenging. In St. Petersburg, I've gotten kind of an invitation to make a test with insulin. I have got a few capsules of insulin, which is already went out of the, how how to say, out of use long ago, so you may not use it. We put this insulin into the pyramid for 12 days. First, the activity returned in 12 days 100%, as it was just normal, just very active. Plus, this insulin had immune stimulating effect. And then we changed the concentration to very small. The same effect. Can you imagine? It's wonderful result. We did even more result. In the middle of the pyramid, we put the system for the concentration of energy into like a beam. And then on a small glass table, we put insulin, normal insulin. And then on top of it, we put just a bottle with water for 12 days. You see? Then, when people drank this water, they have the same effect. So it means you can get less insulin than usual. And this is, that's very important for immune system. It's very important for the blood system. So, very challenging results. Okay, next slide. Next slide. Oops, no. This is another very important purpose, how the pyramid can be used. Slow down the aging processes and construction of Tin Moon, the land of life. Tin Moon is the ancient Sumerian name. What it means, Tin Moon, for us now? Again, we return to pyramids as the instrument to control inner biological time. Those who fly here 18,000 years ago, and those to whom they gave the knowledge about the pyramid. And this is described in the Gospels, in the ancient texts. They have been living very long. 600 years, 900 years. Remember this text. And some scientists, they just supposed probably ancient they had not been, let's say, too, intellectual or too developed, and they had a wrong calendar probably. They counted moon cycles or whatever. No, the reason was quite different. It was really so. The pyramid had this aging effect. And by the way, those who 18,000 years came here, they lived very long. Some of them, we can consider, according to the text, 1,200, 1,500 years, 2,000 years, something like this. And being in a very good form, in very good shape. So, ancient text says, if two make a right choice on the land and build a certain complex of pyramids in a certain places, forming a certain energetic system, inside of this system, effect of conservation of inner biological time will happen. It means inside of the system, all illnesses go away, and they have been living, and actually, if we will start to use it, actually in Russia, we start to use it. We already built the whole system. We can control our biological time and to seriously prolong our life. We are doing it for a very serious purposes and scientific experiments. But ancient text says that they have been living exactly this way, because energetic field of this kind of Osmanagić, those who entered Tin Moon, they have been receiving immortality, according to the ancient text. Immortality inside. If you go out of this area, in 2 weeks, everything returns. And do you remember why? Because planet Earth lost the orbit. The different vibration. If we go back again, the system goes into harmony, conservation of inner biological time, and again, everything is okay. This, what you see here, this is one of our projects, actually, which we started to realize in Russia. This is so-called Project 12. This is a project which is combining the whole system of the pyramid, medical institute, schools, kindergartens, hotels, anything. It's like a city among the pyramids. And another very important aspect. So what's the time right now? 8 o'clock.
10 to.
So I think let's make a break now, okay? And then we will continue from quite a new point. We will concentrate on the results of investigation in Russian Academy of Science. Here is another small piece of information. So, Research Institute of Theoretical and Experimental Biophysics, Russian Medical Academy of Science. For the period of 3 and up to 21 days, a 10% solution of table salt have been exposed in the pyramid and then was added to the mice daily drink water, and 3 times a week the animals were teethed in the same solution. It emerged that the solution from the pyramid considerably reduces the effect of stress. This is a very important effect of the pyramid. Pyramid reduces stress. The indicator of this was the quantity of lymphocytes in the thymus gland, which is known to fall sharply with stress. The mice that drank water, the salty water from the pyramid, had been dipped in this water, showed almost no sign of stress. So interesting that after this period, the mice, which actually, you know, they do not swim, they started to swim. Next. Another very important experiment. It was not experiment on one hand, because I cannot say when I'm talking about the kids to say experiment. But we somehow try to use the pyramid effect to help heal kids. And here we studied the influence of 40% glucose solution given internally and distilled water applied externally after both had been exposed in the pyramid. The patients were newborn babies with serious pathologies. An objective assessment was provided by an analysis of a immediate state index, which reflects the state of the patient's lymphoadrenal system. Data on 20 patients was analyzed. In all cases, even patients with very low index, close to 0, after the administration of 1 milliliter of the 40% glucose solution, the ISI rose practically to normal level. The same happened after the external application of 1 milliliter of water that had been exposed in the pyramid. So this is very special case when just glucose exposed in the pyramid, just water exposed in the pyramid gives a very deep and positive effect, stimulating immune system of a human being, actually a child. So, next slide. Another very interesting application of the pyramid is that they were used as the tool to control the seismic activity of the planet. Next slide. Here on this map, you can see zones of instability. Yellow one, the zones of relatively high instability, especially at our period, after 2012. And the red, the zone of high instability. Next slide. So, and you know, from ancient Eastern tradition, this type of healing, when they used needles to influence a certain energetic points of organism. And always keep in mind, we today spoke about this equal construction of a human being and the planet Earth and the universe. Again, the same principle is here. We have energetic channels on our body. Planet Earth also has such energetic channels and energetic acupuncture point. This very interesting experiment we did with the help of military antenna system. So they're working as energetic lens. The pyramid is actually working as energetic lens and resonator, which generates energy and amplifies the energy. If you put the pyramid, let's say, on a place without energy vortex, just empty place. We have such places, especially a lot in the cities. In 12 days, pyramid will make a vortex, like make a hole here, and energy appears. So, and then it was kind of an experiment when militaries on their locators, they saw the energetic beam which goes out up from the pyramid. And you can see it here. This energetic beam was actually 1,200 meters, and it was fluctuating. And what is interesting that you can see by eyes this energetic beam, but it is not transparent for electromagnetic waves. That's the reason why we saw them on the screen. Let's go on. So, this is the pyramid that have been built between Moscow and St. Petersburg. We did this picture just, occasionally. When we were back from the pyramid by car and went away on this distance approximately 40 kilometers, I just made a picture. And we noticed this beam of energy. It's not, a light. It's just a beam very high. On the base, it is approximately 500 meters wide and 1,000 and more meters high. Next slide. So ancients, they knew that the pyramid had this energetic beam which is going up and going down. And if you, according to the principle, you build a pyramid and a certain place, acupuncture point of the earth, then you can affect the tension, the energetic processes on the pretty big depth of the planet and control this seismic activity. So this is another idea how the pyramid placed in a certain places of our planet can be used and the system to control seismic activity. And what is interesting, this picture. You see, all the pyramid complexes are situated in the middle of the zone of high seismic instability. If you look at it, you say, oh, ancients have been crazy. How is it possible to build buildings in the middle, of earthquake? One answer: to control the seismic activity. And experiments that have been done and recorded in Russian Academy of Science proved that the pyramid has this effect. They are depressing the seismic activity of the location where pyramids is situated. And here is something very special, just for you. When I learned about this effect of the pyramid, I have been absolutely, paralyzed. I was shocked. The pyramid have been used to capture spirit. And then I put together all ancient texts, all myths, all stories to understand what stands behind. But fortunately, there are some ancient texts which are very clearly describe this effect. To describe it, if you allow me, I will use, a very free form of explanation. You will see what I mean by that. So just imagine, I'm Anunnaki, extraterrestrial, okay? From another planet like Mars, very highly developed. And you are my son here, okay? My wife is earthly lady. You have been born here on the planet Earth. You are a ruler of a certain place, like for example, Gilgamesh was. One half of his blood was extraterrestrial, the other half earthly. Okay?
3/4.
Okay, 3/4, right. You remember. So, then time comes, and I tell you, my son, in 3 or 5 years, I'm just giving you general information, but I know exactly when you will die. And I tell you, you must build a pyramid. Then, when this pyramid will be built according to your proportions, in a certain place, when you will die, your body should be taken into the pyramid. The pyramid takes a hologram from your energetic system, capture the spirit, and this spirit will stay here as long as this pyramid exists. Then, your body, we can put it on fire, we don't need any more body. Then I tell you, in 200 years, on the beach of the Black Sea or Mediterranean Sea, in such a place, in such a family, a new child will be born. It will be you. Your people must know about it. They must go there, pick this child, and bring it into the pyramid. And when this child will be taken into the pyramid, your former energetical structure, your former one, like personality, will join with him. And you will at this moment remember, not one, all your previous lives. Your energetic system, like a flower, will grow up, and you will be the king of the kings. It means according to the energetic capacities. Because his life would be like a star. And it is all about all of you. This is a very important idea. When we say or we think about the enlightenment, we missed very important issue from the ancient knowledge. There are two of them. First of them says, you must know the place where you died and where you died. And then, at certain day, you must go there. And if you find the right place, like here in the pyramids, you will re-enjoy, and your consciousness will be opened. And then you will become like Osiris, ancient Egyptian god of gods, Osiris. This is the key moment. Another one, synchronization. If you are practicing, if you want to develop your psychological abilities, your energetical abilities, anything, you should synchronize your energetical body with the energetical bodies of the Earth, best 4 times per year. Then, no problem, and everything will be great. If you have known these possibilities, sometimes cancer, sometimes something else. So, this is very important aspects of ancient knowledge. This type of pyramids of Mexico, that was like a Chinese pyramids. They were created exactly for one reason, to capture the spirit. And what for me was very important and interesting that so after many years of investigation and finding this knowledge, and especially, again, I'd like to repeat, experiment in the pyramids, medical experiments, gave us understanding that we are just before quite a new science. Because we do not know exactly who we are. You even cannot imagine what your actual body and energetic system are able to do, what you are in reality. Because reaction of organism is very special, opening you not only understanding and vision that you are the part of the whole universe. This is something even bigger, it's a new science, new. And we are just now standing at the beginning of this science. Now I cannot give you the comprehensive idea about it. But each time when we enter the pyramid for any kind of experiments, like for example, any one of you, if you go into the pyramid first time, your organism just, you have effect. Pyramid is influencing you. Then your immune system is reacting on this pyramidal influence. And this is exactly the signal according which taking in account this information, pyramid gives a second impulse, healing impulse. All depends on your organism, on the reaction of your organism. And then each time, step by step, you're as if opening the wonderful, endless book of the things belonging to your organism, to your energetic system. So now from here, as a result of more than 20 years, now already 30 years actually, of investigation of ancient texts and scientific experiments, we can say that pyramid is, first, powerful cosmic antenna. B, a model in stone of energy structure of the human being and of the universe, using the latter's energy mechanism, the same energy mechanism as the universe. It's very important understanding. C, a very powerful generator of cosmic energies operating on the various planes. Pyramidal energy structures whose position should be decided with a reference to the energy qualities of the location open up the following possibilities. Tapping into the natural flow of cosmic energy, the organization and stimulation of evolutionary processes in the biosphere and human consciousness. Correction of the human energetic structure, making it possible to stimulate internal energetic, biophysical, and psychological processes, which in turn provide the opportunity to discover and activate the inner resources of human psyche, increasing psychic potentials. A positive influence on a human immune system, nervous system, leading to its improvement. This is an important moment. We can improve immune system. For modern, present science, it sounds like a nonsense. Because immune system, well, it must be like it is, controlling all the processes and keeping your system, your organism in more or less stable condition. But in reality, immune system can be perfected. And pyramid is the instrument for this perfection.
Is that a real photograph or is that a graphic illustration?
No, this one is a photograph. But later on I will show you, no, it's like we made it on computer, but later I will show you the photograph. So, an environment of mankind, energy, ecological, environmental, it's improvement in increase and improvement of the energy state of the pyramid location. But here, we spoke today already with Michael, and I gave them idea about very interesting experiment. Let's call it experiment that we did a few years ago in Ukraine, in Crimea, but now Crimea, thanks to God, returned to Russia. We are very happy about it, because it was also Russian. And there I have a friend. They had a daughter, and this daughter was approximately 8 years old, very naughty, very noisy, absolutely, we were always crazy when she had been around, crying, jumping, climbing at you, no chance to talk. So, and once when we have been discussing the positive, very special effect of the pyramids on the creative abilities of human beings, we just, stopped on this moment and said, why we must not try and use it, or, like an experiment now, in this home, in this family, with this child. So, we produced a few pyramids and placed them in different places, different corners of the flat, and then we made so-called energetic sources. Approximately in 12 days, the whole energetic environment in this home has been changed, become very soft. You feel like an open area, very interesting, very good feeling. Then I explained, from this moment on, you need to start to teach your girl something. What would you like? And they decided to play music for the piano. You must start to do it in the form of game, very softly, just 1 note, 2 notes per day, just to attract the interest of the child. Because in this environment, it will be not only easy for her, she will feel happiness, it will be funny, and she will start to do it more and more and more. She was 8 years old. Now, when she was 10 years old, she is the best musician, piano player in Ukraine and in Russia. She played with all most famous orchestra of the world. Can you imagine? 2 years. Just 2 years. This is the question. That is the reason why when I was 2 years ago invited to meet one person, he came to St. Petersburg and said, listen, I went through all your books, I watched, investigated all your websites, and I'd like to invite you for one interesting project. We met in the cafe in his hotel, and he said, listen, I'm living in city Tomsk. It is approximately 1 million people living there. We have, in this city, 600,000 students. Is it possible, with the help of your knowledge, with the help of the pyramids, generate a special energetic environment to stimulate their creative abilities? I said, this is the sacred wish, let's do it. And we started to do this. Next one. Okay, great. So this place is 15 minutes away from city Tomsk, in the middle of Siberia. This territory is approximately 120 hectares. For the beginning, we marked this middle territory, 80 hectares, and here we plan to build a pyramid. We already built a central pyramid, you can see it here. So, next slide. Here you can see the full view of this territory. Actually, now we plan to build the whole complex on a territory of 525 hectares. It's pretty big territory. We started excavation, and you see here we use white quartz. We put white quartz and use white quartz everywhere. It's a very important material. Next. Just step by step, you will see the phases of this construction period. Next one. Now we are making, horizon. First of all, we prepare the place to put the pyramid on, but at the same time, I have been lucky with my friends investigating that ancient text to find very interesting information about energetical capacities of different minerals. And these minerals they are having a very important effect on a human energetic structure, especially on the speed of certain types of energy or vortices of energy. So here, when you see these black spots, okay, this is not only the cover to keep water under, to preserve the construction against the water. Even here already, we put minerals which are speeding up the energy vortex coming into the pyramid. Let's go on. Then, we made this foundation. All these foundations also has a very important meaning. That picture, where I showed you at night a beam coming from the pyramids, I told this word, I pronounced this word, the beam of energy was fluctuating. Bigger, smaller, bigger, smaller. At the day of solar explosion, magnetic storm and this territory, this energetic beam disappeared. Just pyramid become silent. And ancient texts, they have an information that if you make a certain construction under the temples or the pyramids, this energy fluctuation disappear and energetic being become stable. So we have used this knowledge here and we started to make this special foundation. Next. And then 12-sided foundation. Let's go on. Here we see we started to build a walls. So actually here we built 12-sided foundation of 4 meters high. Why it is important? Doesn't matter where. If you have energy vortex coming from the Earth, and this energy vortex is situated on so-called sacred place, any energetic vortices, they have a negative something. Like a part of this vortex has a negative impact. So this negative part of the energetic vortex should be cut off. Then this energy will be absolutely for us positive. So for this particular reason, they have used a special resonators, 12-sided resonators. So we did just the same thing. Let's go on. And here you can see how we use this construction material to build this 12-sided foundation. Also take into account that Siberia is pretty cold place, pretty cold. Sometimes 40, 45 minus degree Celsius, pretty cold. So you see, we use this special material inside to keep warmth in the middle of this 12-facet foundation. Next slide. Here you can see it's already just, we have built the walls here, and now in the middle we are preparing the place for special energetic source we later built in this place. Next slide. We have been polishing each side of 12-sided foundation. This, deviation from norm was only from 3 per 4 millimeters on a distance of 36 meters. And you understand it's a very, very high precision when you construct such big complexes. Next.
Oh.
Huge. Huge. So, I'm sorry, I love you and I'm very open to you, but this moment when we have been constructed this energy source, I'm not going to show you because it gives idea how to build a very serious psychotronic weapon. So I hope you understand me, okay? We'll leave it behind. So let's go on. And now we started to build an inner structure. On one hand, this inner structure to support a pyramid. On the other hand, we are making so-called wave channels, especially resonators, to increase influence of energy in a certain focus zones inside of this 12-facet foundation, because we decided that this particular foundation will be used to expose food, water, wine, anything there, and then just sold in the shops around in Tomsk. Next. And you also notice that the walls of this 12-facet foundation is also black. We also cover it with paint and added special minerals so that the speed of energy coming in would be faster. That's why when you now go into the pyramid, you feel like, pressure, like strong. Environmental is very, very high. I tell you right now exactly that one of the reasons why, for example, in Atlantis in ancient time, they had this capacity to mentally talk to each other is because of the energetic field and how strong, how solid it is. Another simple example, if you take any extraterrestrial, developed extraterrestrial, And we invite him here without, and he will be here without access to their energetic sources. He will immediately lose capacities for telepathic communication, and he will be not able to move objects on the table. Very, very simple. Energy is a key moment. If you produce energy, and the energy in a certain place will be, solid, like strong enough, then you can mentally send the commands, and everything is going on. Let's go on. Then we started to make a roof. Next. These tubes. It's for ventilation system. The whole pyramid is organized so that the air goes from the bottom through the pyramid and then goes up, ventilating the system and drying the system. So the pyramid actually do not need like a special ventilation system. Next slide. This is in the place inside of the 12-facet foundation. Let's go on. This is how the pyramid in general will be looking like. Inside you see there are chambers with pyramidal shape form. It is done exactly to increase the energetic power of the pyramid, because these chambers and the whole pyramid, they are in a certain relationships, magnetic relationships. So, and it helps to increase. Next. Now you see here how it looks like inside without the walls. The middle room it has vertical walls. And then we have also there a few tanks like basins for water. So this pyramid inside has two floors, energetic floors, where we have set up basins like water moving around, and water, it is very special substance. It must be in the pyramid. Why? I will tell you a little bit later. Next, another cut or section of the pyramid so you could see how it's constructed. You see what is important here. From the ground until the pyramidion, we have a channel without floor cutting this energetic beam. It goes through freely. Next. And here you see we started to build a central chamber. Next. This pyramidal shaped chamber is around. Actually, we have 25 chambers inside of the pyramid. Next one. Just quickly. Next one. Pyramid is up. Stop. At this moment, we started to polish the pyramid. We needed a very precise capacities of the surface. So we prepared the surface, and then we ordered a special material to cover the pyramid so that the surface could live through, let's say, through the winter, which is cold. The weather is very aggressive there. So we need a material which will survive in the winter. All other materials, like plates, anything, they live only one winter and then everything falls down. Finish. This is material we just used, checked, and then finish it. And here you see, pyramid is ready. This is the pyramidion. Little bit more than 100 kilograms in weight. We made it in Brazil, brought it to Russia. Next slide. And put it on top of the pyramid. Quartz pyramidion is the key moment of any pyramid. Remember, quartz pyramidion must be on the pyramid, otherwise you are losing the chances. Let's go on. This is the biggest crystal ball in the world. Natural crystal ball. 108 kilograms, 42 centimeters in diameter. In the middle of the pyramid, we also organized a special energetic system which are accumulating the energy in the middle, in the focal point. This is just how it looks like. But here it's just without water. In the middle here, under this plate, we have energetic sources. The whole system of energetic sources, which are constructed to amplify a certain vibration range. And also we have a bronze bell. It's important. Bronze bell plays two main roles. First one, and this is why Christianity kept one very important secret. If you stand under the bronze ball and you make like, it immediately synchronizes all your energetical rhythms of your body as a one. Immediately, it's very important. One. Second, pyramid, any pyramid, works as accumulator. Now imagine the Cheops pyramid. Stand there a lot of 100 years, right? Inside environment stayed the same, stimulating effect. But upper sides are destroyed. Synchronization effect disappeared. Can you imagine how many illnesses people brought into the pyramid and left there because of the mechanism? Pyramid is accumulator. So everything is there. So if you go there, you are having all this. In ancient times, they used special whistling system. And when, remember, this ventilation system have been constructed in the pyramid and switched on, you can hear like pyramid started to, this is the moment when the pyramid is cleansing itself. But for many hundred years, that was not done. And the bronze ball is only one chance to clean the pyramid up from the negative energies. This is the reason first that we did. We put a bronze bell there. Next. This is so-called oracle chamber. The word oracle, you understand what it means, oracle chamber. Inside there is this pyramid. Now this pyramid is under the ground already here. This crystal under the ground. But the place, the focal point and the effect is very, very special. Another short story. When we have been building this pyramid, the construction command, the people was from Moscow. And the chief of this group was an engineer with a very hard, severe asthma. He had been using, spray, the most strongest spray, 4-5 times per day, because he was almost dying. Once we came exactly into this oracle chamber, there were three of us, me, him, and the actual owner and those persons who finance this pyramid. We have been invited there because Vladislav, the name of this financer, he has got a present from his Indian friend. It's like a tube made of a shell. Shell, like seashell. And he said, listen, I've got a very good stuff. Let's go to the pyramid and make a sound. We'll see how it works. So we entered without any thoughts, just stood in the middle, and then boom, the pyramid started to vibrate, Next file, give me. So then I will show you that picture. The man I'm talking with fall down on the knees. He was covered with sweat, absolutely pale. His face was as a child who saw a dinosaur. Then he stood up on his leg and ran away. Just really, he was running like from the bear, you know. Later on, he stopped using spray, no asthma. Completely no asthma. Sometimes he said, sometimes when I'm in Moscow, stressful situation, I can't just grab. And then I said, why I did it? Just, you know, automatically. And then, but he doesn't need any more, any sprays. So he was still for one moment. Next. And here you can see just, I show you the place where the water will be situated. Why it is important for water? Water contains information on one hand. On the other hand, another very important aspect I'd like to point out for you. Today we have been talking that immune system constructed so that it must defend your organism against any powerful, energetic, medical, physical, any effects. Pyramid has a very strong effect. So it means your energetic system and your immune system will immediately close itself, like it starts to defend against this strong energy influence of pyramid, which is not so good for us. So this energy, strong energy, should be transformed into the range acceptable by human organism. And water is the best interpreter, best transformer. So if you have water in the pyramid, any strongest effect will be accepted by human immune system as a normal thing. And then, if you take, you should just imagine, like a 50 tons of water. Can you imagine like 50 tons of water? These 50 tons of water contain in itself all information about any human being, about any flies, about any birds, about any living organism on the planet ever appeared, ever lived, from the beginning until today. Just 50 tons. If you put the water inside, and then it is necessary to make a special energetic system which produces energetic beam goes through your head into the water. It's like hard disk, you can read water immediately if your information. This is the reason why they used water as the hard disk to read information about past, present, future, to have access to parallel dimensions. Water is the key moment in the pyramid. Next slide.
Did you add any bicarbonate systems into the water? Did you add anything into the water? Or
no, just pure water, just pure. But then, according to the plan, this water goes out of the pyramid into the channels. So let's go on. And now you see the pyramid on top of the pyramid. Next. Another experiment. We bought very, let's say, cheap wine from France, exposed there, and then invited the specialists from France just to say, what can they say about this wine? Can you imagine? I put here, because they see the boxes, and they say, what did you do with it? Because it's impossible. It's the most expensive wine. You bottled and they said, no. It's one and the same wine, just exposed in the pyramid. That's it. And then this wine has been sold to the people living in tombs for the same price. It's very, very cheap. It is, by the way, one of the idea what the pyramid was built. The old food stuff that will be exposed in the pyramid will be sold to the people. Next. I was talking about this man with mustache. He was healed for one in the pyramid.
What instrument did he use to make the sound?
Shell, seashell. Seashell. Next. This is the general view of the complex. This is 80 hectares, and you can see how pyramids are situated here, according to the certain principle. Here, this is 4 huge mirrors, approximately 250 meters long, 10 meters high, mirrors to reflect the energy going from the pyramid back to the middle pyramid, to empower. It's another angle of view of the complex. This is the pyramid which we have built as experimental pyramid. Also with pyramidion, there we had unusual effects also. Just when we built, finished, in 2 days, I was phoned from there that people say, listen, we see UFOs hovering exactly. Huge cigar-shaped UFO was hovering over the pyramid. And it happens continuously. So it looks like they are recharging themselves, even from this small, 30 meters high pyramid, 13 meters high pyramid. Next slide. And this is the project, actually, which we started to do. Because
the previous pyramid, the 13-meter one, what material is the outside made of?
It's all white quartz. All white, it's important, white quartz, because central symmetry of the quartz is spinned into clockwise and counterclockwise direction. Actually, it's a spiral. So it means each small particle, it's like a chakra. Inside of this chakra goes one vortex of energy, but because it's done in a spiral, goes out many vortexes of energy. It means increasement of energetic power. But at the same time, this energetic vortex is very soft, which is very, very important. Next. Here you see the just idea. Not bad, right? And this is natural. We made this for Siberia. Let's say how to say, this plan, it's won first prize in the competition in Russia. So, and again, here I'm giving the general idea about the main 12 stimulus why the pyramid have been constructed. Sure, it's not all that pyramid can offer us, but this is a very good beginning. And especially when we, with the help of the pyramid, can improve our health. When we can rearrange energetic capacities of our flats, especially kids. Because when I got married, my wife, she had already 2 kids, 2 boys. And these boys were, almost each month they had problems. Asthma, anything else. So I, like a new father, immediately what I did, I installed energetic sources in the pyramids. Now we're living together 7 years away, right? No one time they were ill. No one time. So they are very good in school. I'm happy. They are very naughty but clever, which I like also very much. I'm sure pyramid has a very positive, very beneficial effect for human organism and for us. So now today I try to share with you a very, very small piece of the knowledge which I have received investigating ancient pyramids. And being astonished, being fascinated, we spend time, a lot of money to build the complex. And as you already saw, we're going to build 33 pyramids there. And at the same time, we already made plans to build a satellite city to Bosnia. Whole city. We already got permission for the huge land to build the city of a quite new idea, city of the future. More or less, I invite you to participate in this project. So, thank you for your attention. Thank you. I'm sorry if my English was not so good, but I tried to do my best to share with you. If I will find possibility, I will be happy to attend such meetings more and more times and share with you the other aspect of the ancient knowledge, like theoretic school and the other things. So I will be happy and even more than happy to see you again. Thank you.
Can you give your website, please? Website, please.
Next slide.
No.
Just happened to have it.
This thing in the email was a mistake.
I'm sorry. It's a wrong email.
Thank you very much, Valery. This was very inspirational. Valery was our second keynote speaker, and he has earned that fully. He's a high caliber speaker from Russia, doing speaking engagements worldwide. We were very happy to have him in Bosnia 2 times. Now, about his proposal to come here again. Fortunately for him, he earned that right also. Once he told us about wine being exposed to the pyramid energy, before the idea came to my head. The first day we went to Herzegovina, a lot of vineyards. So during this winter we're going to buy a lot of cheap wine and we're going to sell it to you next year for not so cheap. So please, another big round of applause for our friend Dona. So we had a couple more days to chat with Valery, also with Michael and other conference participants. In the meantime, we got a couple more that we're going to be talking on Saturday. Now tomorrow we're going to have a very exciting guest speaker also. He's coming from Slovenia. Very nice man, an artist and a researcher of ancient energies. His name is Marko Kovačin. He was here also earlier this year, and he'll be able to extend more information on Bosnian pyramids, but also how to deal with those energies in daily life. Now for our conference participants, I hope you did enjoy our day today. Despite the rain, you've been able to see that we've been finding our way out of a lot of water. Tomorrow we're going to be leaving hotel 9 o'clock also, in 2 buses. And we're going to be driving for a couple of hours, 2 hours and 15, maybe 2 hours and a half, to the north. We are going to a little Bosnian town of Zavidović, where we're going to see another interesting phenomenon, the Bosnian stone spheres, stone balls. So it will be another photo op for you, to make a lot of new photos about stone balls, not only in Costa Rica, Mexico, or Easter Island, but also in Bosnia. And over there we're going to have a real nice lunch. Organic food, homemade lunch. So I think you will enjoy that experience also. I would like to say that we're going to be back around 3 o'clock, but as you know, it will not happen. So probably it will be around 5 o'clock. But since I will be traveling with you on the bus, I'll try to get you a few more jokes about New York. So you can find more Valery stuff, magic stuff on the table, and Klaus Donas and ours from Foundation. And I thank you for coming tonight. For those of you who are guests, and I invite you to come tomorrow also. We'll have excellent presentation. And of course Saturday, it will be all-day conference. We're going to start at 10 o'clock with a press conference. 6-7 of us will be talking shortly about impressions on Bosnian Pyramid project. And 10:30, we're going to have our first speaker. And 10 of them will be talking on Saturday. They will have a little bit less time, but eventually they're going to earn this position of keynote speaker. And of course, as every year, the last also keynote speaker, the guy who's going to finish our conference will be our Klaus Dona from Austria. Ladies and gentlemen, that's how much I had for you this night, and I think Marta wanted to say something.
Just wanted to know if time was allowed, if he can spend 5 minutes talking about his products.
Cool. Valery? Excellent idea. Why don't you say a few words about it?
No problem.
So I had everything I had to say, and then let's hear Valery the last time this evening.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you. So, what would you like to know? If you have any questions, I'm open for you.
About the products.
Your wands and the insole?
So,
The wand especially.
the wands of Horus and insole. Actually, if you get the wands of Horus, insoles also go together. In ancient Egyptian tradition, they used this instrument, as you already know, to synchronize first 3 energetical bodies of a human being with first 3 energetical bodies of the planet Earth as one. So, if you ask me, what is the general main meaning of the wands of Horus? They have been used as the prevention tool against cancer. And now you understand why. At the same time, they have a very deep stimulating effect on energetic, immune, and nervous systems. So, if you will find, and here in internet, you can find my book, which is called The Wands of Horus, in English language. It is 400 pages compressed information, not only about ancient tradition, ancient texts, but also information about proper usage, medical usage of the wands of Horus, and some results which we have received during experiments in Russian Academy of Science, Medical Academy of Science. So, the wands of Horus, I'm sure that maybe 1, 2 years, 5 years will go, but in the future, this instrument will be in any families, in any. Because when you take it in the hands, they start to harmonize your inner biological time, correcting inner biological time. And what they do, no any medicine will ever do. Because any medical substances which you take in your mouth, and this is very important for understanding, because your organism is perfect. Your aura is working like a best scanner. Just when you took a tablet from the table, chemical ones, your aura just scanned already. And then when you put it in mouth and swallow, your immune system immediately starts to fight against it. On the medical equipment, you will see, like a signal, defensive reaction and abilities of organism become stronger. And medical doctors say, you see, great immune system, like boom, a defensive mechanism grow up. They cannot understand one thing. Because immune system is starting to fight against it. And as soon as all the substances are chemical, immune system needs no more than 3 months. Then this medicine will never ever be able to affect your organism. But you can use this method 1 time, 2 times, 500 times. But then your immune system always fighting. Oh, immune deficit. Because all these effects are discharging immune system. The Wands of Horus is a very special instrument. He is charging immune system by a very natural way. Each of us can experience this effect, especially when you take the wands and go into the forest. It's unbelievable effect. Just simple experiment, just within souls, which you can see here, all the wands of Horus. Take them first at night. And next morning, you will get up earlier, much more refreshed, as if you were sleeping just 1 week in the forest. Interesting effect. This is effect on the nervous system. If you will be working like not less than 2 hours per day, you will experience unusual reaction, and I, from my side, will be able to explain the reaction of your organism. You are all individuals. But if you do it 2 hours and more, I will explain. And then, step by step, your organism is gaining this power. And we have noticed many years ago, right at the beginning, so that the wands are empowering the immune system. Example, 20, 25 years ago, not only me, my friends, kids got cold. 7, 10 days, medicine, bad condition, 10 days, bad condition. Then somehow using medicine, more or less, feels better. If you start to use wands, they are empowering, stimulating your immune system. If you get cold, terrible things will happen. I was badly ill 1 night. I was thinking, I'm dying. Just 1 night. Immune system just made it like this. And next morning, I have been refreshed. Without any even traces of the illness. All my friends, all kids, after a few months of usage of wands, experienced the same thing. Immune system killed the viruses for 1 night. Heavily, but 1 night. And it shows immune systems are empowered. So again, wands of Horus, because this is the copper and zinc. The insoul, copper and zinc, they are affecting inner biological time. At the same time, another very important mechanism. If you would ask me, after almost 30 years of investigation, will I be able to bring in a few words main idea about ancient technology, healing technology? I said, I'll try. I will try. And I will start like this. You must not invent anything. Doesn't matter where you are, what you ate, what you did. There is only one internal doctor who knows about your organism, everything. Just imagine, you are sitting here. You are sitting in your body. Your body consists of millions and millions of cells. Each cell has its own vibration. The groups of cells forms organs, and each organ has its own vibration. The conglomerates of organs form an organism, and everything in harmony has its own vibration. We are sitting here, but our planet is flying through the space. And each second, we are already 33 kilometers away in a different place because Earth is flying with a speed of 33 kilometers per second. The solar system is flying with a speed of 1,800 kilometers per second. And all this energetic, environment is influencing your body. Your immune system is only one doctor which can calculate and balance your organism and keep it in a stable position. Sometimes when I met, technology, when people say, well, a good device, good one. So now we touch this place, it's a healthy place. We record the information of the healthy organ, and then we start to influence the bad organ. That's okay. Can you imagine what amount of information, not terabytes, I would say millions of terabytes is analyzed each second by your hypothalamus and hypophysis. No chance, no one equipment will do that. Only hypothalamus and hypophysis. Anything happens in your body, the signals through peripheral nervous system go to hypothalamus and hypophysis. Then the system is analyzing the signal and sends back signals to correct one or another deviation from the normal. If in any place, by any reason, the energetic channel is blocked, let's call it blocked, energy do not come through. Your endocrine system controlling the situation increase the intensity of energetic signals. It didn't come through. It's like you are pumping in ball. Big inflammation, exceeding of energy. Energy do not come through. Problematic place. When you take the wands of Horus in your hands, inside of the wands there are quartz crystals, monocrystals, like 6 facet, 9, 12, and so on. All the signals which are sent by your endocrinal system to correct deviations from normal, this is the very soft, tiny electrical signals. At the same time, you are heating up by your body temperature the crystals. You are giving your own electricity to these crystals. Copper and zinc, difference of potential up to 1.5 volt. Crystal inside starts to vibrate, piezoelectricity. The signals which are sent by your endocrine system, we have projection here, in the middle of the palm. Remember, in all ancient texts, here, the eye of the god. Remember, this symbol, the eye, third eye. Another thing, when any of you healers, we are healing by hands. Actually, you come to the person, and like I do sometimes, I'm scanning and say, oh, here is problematic place. Actually, I'm scanning not by hand, you understand? I'm scanning by brains. Through this area, electromagnetic signal goes to the wands, and this signal is amplified by piezoelectrical vibrational effect. It means the whole aura of you starts to vibrate with a signal dictated by your hypothalamus and hypophysis. Great. And if the signal didn't come through the channel here, peripheral system starts to vibrate with necessary vibrations and correct deviations from normal. Signal went through. You see, genius, they were genius. And I'm sure that it's impossible to invent on our level of understanding. We can now understand, but it was done thousands of years ago. It's a clear indication that the knowledge has been received from extraterrestrial civilization of a very high level of development. So, in my book, The Wands of Horus, I have described these mechanisms on any possible levels. Everything is there. You can download the file from internet and have fun. So it's very interesting. Heavy reading, but doctors asked me, they said to me, Valery, listen, all the people around, all this esoteric, crazy people, they are writing books, no one book for us. You are talking interesting thing. Can you write book for us so we doctors could understand actually what is it about? And I wrote The Wands of Horus book for them. So take it into account. But in any way, it's pretty interesting material. Keep in mind, I am the one who wrote this book. But all ideas described in this book is not mine. I just translated, interpreted. I brought this knowledge into understandable language. So, if you will have any questions to me, something else to ancient Egyptians. It's not my ideas. I just brought into text what I understood clearly. So I wrote the books for 7 years, and 1.5 years I was cleaning this book. At the beginning it was 600 pages, now 400 pages. It's just for you for one day. So I'm sure, just my proposal and my advice, all of you who daily, continuously is practicing energetical practice, different, healing, you must use the wands, because this is the chance to avoid, to step over the borderline line, to escape from the cancer problem. It's serious. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Valery. Now, before we leave, Foundation has developed official pyramid souvenir. We had to develop a special mold to show exact geometry of the Bosnian Pyramids. What would the energy be? Our colleagues in Mexico and Egypt, they never do anything like this. They simply make pyramid and they sell it. So we had more challenging tasks. So I would like to present this present to Valery, our keynote speaker, to take it home. It's made from a special kind of clay, which is found in Mexico. And also let me use this chance to call our first keynote speaker, Michael Tellinger, who was here last night, to receive this present also. Please, Michael, so show your thanks to the speaker tonight. All right, thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow morning.